During the mid-1800s, this 11th century stately home became a favourite haunt of the great novelist Charles Dickens. So much so that he dedicated one of his books to a couple that once lived here. So which book was it, and where am I? Find out in just a few moments. Today, I'm helping a couple of first-time buyers looking to swap the bright lights of the city for a quieter life in the countryside. We're on the hunt for the perfect period property, and while some show potential...
It needs a bit of modernising maybe, but probably just more cosmetic than anything else.
Others offer our buyers more than they bargained for.
I love the idea of having 2 staircases. I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll make me fitter.
Today we're in the East Midlands, and this is Rockingham Castle in Northamptonshire. With magnificent views across the Welland Valley, it was originally built as a Motte and Bailey castle by William the Conqueror in the 11th century. And over hundreds of years, it has evolved into this grand stately home and has been in the hands of the Watson family for 450 years. Now, during the Victorian era, the Watsons regularly hosted their highly esteemed guests here, such as their friend Charles Dickens, who dedicated his novel David Copperfield to them. And today, well, there are plenty more inspiring locations in this picturesque region. The region of East Midlands is located in the centre of England and takes in 6 different counties. Today's search is based in the southernmost counties of Leicestershire and Northamptonshire. Popular with commuters due to their convenient rail and road links to Birmingham and London, the counties also provide a varied rural landscape, from rolling farmland and woodland to winding rivers. The Grand Union Canal is Britain's largest canal, originally built to link London with the Midlands. It runs through the region, taking a meandering course through the hills and unspoilt countryside, passing a variety of attractive villages and market towns, such as Market Harborough, a handsome and popular town with stylish independent shopping and a train station that can whisk commuters to London in just over an hour. At the southernmost tip of Leicestershire, the ancient town of Lutterworth made its mark on world history in the 14th century, when religious reformer John Wycliffe was believed to have produced the first translation of the Bible from Latin to English, while serving as a rector in the parish church. Further south into Northamptonshire, the Pittsford Reservoir near Briggssworth is the 3rd largest in the UK. Its 7 miles of waterside track and woodland trails are perfect for walking, cycling and wildlife spotting. In spring and summer, over 60 species of bird are known to breed here, making it the perfect spot for bird watchers as well as those just looking to soak up the scenery. So how's all this reflected in the region's property? Well, East Midlands house prices are good value for money when compared to the rest of the country. And although the counties of Leicestershire and Northamptonshire are the priciest places to live in the area, the average cost of a detached home is still around 12% below the national figure. So what's attracted our buyers to this fine part of the country? Well, let's meet them and find out. Today's house hunters, James and Sarah, are first-time buyers. They're renting this 1-bedroom flat in the trendy North London borough of Islington.
We've been together for about 3 years now, and we got married recently, last November.
We met playing softball. We both decided to join a softball club in London, just to meet new people, have fun, play a bit of sport, and it all went from there.
Both moved to the capital in their early 20s. James is a digital marketing manager and Sarah is a lawyer. But after 10 years, the buzz of life in the capital is starting to wear off.
London's provided a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, definitely.
A brilliant place to be for a few years, but now we're looking for something more peaceful, a bit quieter.
We don't enjoy London like we used to anymore. It used to be the case that we'd meet after work with friends and stuff, but now since we got married, we just want to come home from work and spend time with each other, so we're not making the most of London anymore.
And it's not just the city itself that no longer suits their needs.
One of the things that we're definitely missing is space.
The storage is one issue, but also it's a one-bedroom flat. So if we have people to come and stay, not really able to accommodate anybody in that regard. And then also we're looking towards having a family home in the future. So room for that and perhaps a dog.
Yeah, definitely a dog.
Unfortunately, outside space is something that's also in short supply.
I'm a beginner gardener. I have a few pots in the courtyard area outside of our flat at the moment.
But we're very limited in terms of what we can do because obviously lots of other people living here as well.
So I'm looking forward to having a sizable garden so that I can perhaps start a vegetable patch. We really enjoy cooking, so having some fruit and vegetables from the garden that we can play around with will be a really great start.
With dreams of starting a family on the horizon, their thoughts have recently turned to the childhoods they enjoyed.
We both grew up in villages, and we love that aspect of our childhood. It's really important to us that if we have children, then they're able to go and play outside and it be safe.
And James's home county of Leicestershire is number 1 on the list.
It's a combination of having nice towns, but then also amazing countryside. So it's so easy, you've pretty much got it on your doorstep.
I think we're fairly laid-back people anyway, and that means that London is a bit of an unnatural environment for us at times. So we're looking forward to a more peaceful existence.
Having grown up in Leicestershire, I know that it's a great place to raise a family. But then also I think it'd be a bonus for me to be closer to my family. And we're not too far from Sarah's family when we're there either, so...
Ready to return to their roots, and with the flexibility of being in rented accommodation, there's nothing stopping them from pursuing their countryside dream.
This is our first house, the first time either of us have bought. So it's kind of nice that we're doing our first house purchase together. It makes it feel a bit more, even more special.
Yeah, it's a big change, and with any big change comes a bit of nerves, but overall we're really excited.
James and Sarah have chosen the East Midlands for its excellent train links to London, as Sarah will need to commute for work at least a couple of days a week. They'd like a village location in good proximity to James's family in Market Harborough, but they're otherwise open-minded, so we're searching for properties across the villages and towns of Leicestershire and neighbouring Northamptonshire. I'm meeting up with them to pin down the details.
Well, Sarah and James, I have to say, welcome to the East Midlands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But for James, it's a bit like coming home for you, isn't it?
It is, yes, yeah. I grew up in Market Harborough, so yeah.
Why have you been pulled back?
It's a combination of things, really. I think beautiful area of the countryside, really looking for more space, and the properties around here definitely offer that.
And why is the time right for you both to make this, well, very important move?
We're looking for a little bit more space. We'd like to start a family soon. We'd also like to get a dog, if that's possible, and I think that our London flat would be a bit of a squeeze.
Now, they say moving house is one of the most stressful things that you can do. You've recently got married. I mean, life.
Yeah.
Changed completely.
We kind of thought we'd get it all done in one fell swoop.
And that's why you need our help with the house bit, is it?
Exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah. As much help as we can get.
So what are you both looking for then with this new property that you're after?
3 bedrooms minimum, 4 if possible, a big kitchen, possibly with a sort of family dining area.
A little workspace for me, if possible. I'm going to be working at home a little bit, so either an office area or perhaps if there's a 4th bedroom that I can convert into an office area. And then a big garden, if possible.
And what about the architectural style of this perfect property?
Well, we both definitely agree that a period property or an older property is what we're after, but with modern features inside that's maybe been renovated, because I don't think we'd be able to do too much work.
Sarah, you're going to be still commuting into London?
I'm going to be commuting into London, so we'd like to be near enough a train station that comes into the area of London that I work in, but at the same time, a good position for James.
Yes, I'm looking to move up here job-wise as well,
Right.
so yeah, double move for me.
Now, with this new move, if we find you the perfect home, and it might be a little bit further out, is it worth that extra drive to the train station?
It's one for Sarah.
We'll have to see what you can show us. I think
Yeah.
we're certainly open to having a look at things a bit further afield.
And you're renting at the moment, so I take it that you can move pretty quickly if we find you that perfect property.
That's right, yeah, no chain.
Hope so.
You do look excited,
Yeah.
both of you, yeah. And then let's remind ourselves then of your budget for this area in the East Midlands.
Sure, we're looking at a maximum of 400,000.
Well, let's hope we can achieve that for you over the next few days. We've got 3 wonderful properties lined up to show you. So, should we get started?
Yeah, let's
Come
go.
on.
Let's go.
James and Sarah are hoping their budget of £400,000 will not only get them on the first rung of the property ladder, but will afford them a dream period home to start a family in. They'd like a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a large kitchen with dining space, and an office so Sarah can work from home. As they're also looking to get a dog in the future, they want a garden, with enough space to fulfil Sarah's dreams of growing vegetables. Last but not least, the property needs to be within a reasonable distance of a train station with good links to London. We've sourced 3 great houses for James and Sarah to view. All have plenty of period character and the potential to make great family homes. At the end of each house tour, I'll ask them to price each property before I reveal it. And with the last one, the mystery house, I'll be testing how far I can push them, both with location and character.
So as this is the first time you'll have bought a property together, exciting times.
Yeah.
But it's very different, isn't it, going from years of renting to actually buying bricks and mortar?
Yes, to actually own a property and make it our own. We can change things as we want to rather than having to check with the landlady first.
Yeah.
We say that though, having not done much decorating before, so...
We're not experienced, but we're enthusiastic.
I like that.
To start our search, I'm taking our buyers 20 minutes south of James's hometown of Market Harborough to the Northamptonshire village of Briggssworth. The village offers a mixture of new houses and older properties, constructed from Northamptonshire ironstone, sourced from the local quarries worked until the late 19th century. It's also home to one of the oldest and most complete Anglo-Saxon churches in the country, the Grade 1 listed All Saints Church. Combined with the modern-day conveniences of a range of shops, cafes, pubs and a primary school, it makes a vibrant and sought-after village that could suit our buyers well. The property I'm showing them is in the heart of the village, overlooking the village green.
So we brought you to a really thriving village for our first property in Northamptonshire. It's called Briggssworth, and here is your first home.
It's a lovely setting.
Love it. I love the contrast between this front and then the old stone at the back.
That's Northamptonshire ironstone. So what do you
It's
think
amazing.
of the cottage? Because it is semi-detached.
Right.
It is. Well, we're hoping for a detached property, but we're not close to anything at this stage, so we'll happily embrace the semi-detached and have a look.
I like that.
Yep.
Well, you said you like traditional homes. Let's see how we get on with this one.
Great.
Have a look.
This cottage has heaps of character, which I think will appeal to James and Sarah, but has the advantage of having been modernised throughout, so they wouldn't need to take on any major work.
So as you walk in, it leads straight
Wow.
into your sitting room.
This is a lovely sitting room.
It's got a beautiful country feel.
It feels very modern as well.
But you do walk straight into it.
Yeah, I have to say that's probably not our favourite in terms of layout, is to walk straight into the living room.
Yeah.
But not a definite no-no.
All right, well, it is a cottage, so we have to bear that in mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's keep looking through.
The sitting room leads through a substantial dining room onto the kitchen, where these 2 keen cooks should feel right at home.
It's lovely and light.
You love cooking together. Are you going to get under each other's feet?
It's got a lot of work surface space, which is always handy. It's got a little room for a dining table as well, a kitchen diner.
Yeah.
Like that.
You've now got 3 different rooms, haven't you? You've got
true.
the sitting room,
Yep.
a large dining room, and then obviously this kitchen.
That's a real plus for us to have some seating in the kitchen and also in another room as well.
I thought perhaps the back of my mind could make quite a good study.
Yeah.
As a study, I might be in the middle of things, passing through from the lounge into the kitchen, but not to say we couldn't have a shuffle round. We could perhaps consider making that area the sitting room.
You've also got some storage and a downstairs bathroom with a separate toilet.
Okay, that's good.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Great.
So should we head upstairs, look at the bedrooms?
That's good.
Look.
An interesting feature of this house is that it has 2 different staircases. One at the back of the house leading straight up into the 3rd bedroom, and one at the front, which takes us from the sitting room to the main bedroom.
Wow.
Lovely and light and a really high ceiling, which is great.
Yeah, I love the high ceiling, actually.
Unusual shaped ceiling as well, actually. And
Extra storage.
gosh.
yeah,
And
Brilliant.
you have your own ensuite.
great.
Just across that very small hallway is another bedroom,
Yep.
a really good size, which leads to your third bedroom.
Okay, so you go through one to get to the other.
To get to the other. When you get to the
Interesting.
third bedroom, you go down those other stairs and that'll bring you out by the dining area and the downstairs bathroom and toilet.
And that's probably a concern.
Definitely.
I'm thinking of having a guest to stay, plus maybe a children's bedroom. Having those two lead from one to the other may not be ideal for us.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be disruptive to one of them. So.
It is, but they have separate access points because you've got that second staircase.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
You can actually lock the door and it wouldn't matter.
Oh,
Okay,
fine.
that's interesting. Yeah. Just making us trying to figure out how
Yeah,
this
it's
is all
making
going to
us
work.
think about how to fit things together. I love the idea of having two staircases. I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll make me fitter.
I like it as well.
I think
like
it's
you
a
say,
nice
quirky.
feature.
Yeah. So let's go outside, take a little look at the garden, and then, of course, I'm going to ask you, aren't I, how much you think it's all worth?
Oh, yes.
The layout may not be ideal, but I'm hoping this property might be scoring extra points for its quirk. The kitchen opens onto a patio outside with steps up to a lawned area.
So not half an acre,
No,
as
no.
you probably guessed. But
Probably couldn't quite fit your vegetable patch into this.
That's true. It's a nice shape. I like it. It's an interesting garden to look at.
I think in terms of having dogs and children and things, it could be a bit tricky, not quite enough lawn space.
yeah, but we've got the rockery section there. Down there, it's more sort of barbecue dining area. And then this part is laid to lawn, which overlooks the green. And the final piece of information I want to give you is this commute. You've got Market Harborough, you've got Kettering, you've also got Wellingborough, which is slightly further away but closer to London, all within 26 minutes drive.
Probably a little bit further than the ideal for me, but not too far.
Right. OK, then, how much do you think the asking price is?
I would guess 365,000.
Right. James?
I think I'd go slightly less, so I'd go 355.
Now, your top budget was £400,000. Asking price on our first property, £335,000.
Oh, we're both
Okay.
out.
So we were a bit over in our
Yeah, which
guesses.
is good.
A pleasant
Well, a
surprise.
pleasant surprise. So why don't you have another look around and I'll catch up with you when you're ready.
Great,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thanks.
This house would give our buyers the period style they wanted in a top village location for an impressive £65,000 under budget. The quirky layout means they'd need to think carefully about how best to use the space. But with 3 bedrooms and a separate dining room, there are options for Sarah's work area. Plus, the kitchen has the family dining space they're looking for. The garden may not be extensive, but is low maintenance and attractive.
This is a perfect guest room for us, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, just
Good.
the right size. Like, there's got a little fireplace in as well.
Yes.
I generally really like the house. I think it's got some really nice quirky features, nice period bits to it. Feels like a nice home. But I think there are also some negatives for us. The garden, I think, is not really big enough. And then the other thing is really having the bathroom downstairs. That could be really tricky.
The journey to the train station is a little bit further than I would like. For the right house, we might do it, but I'm not sure this is the right house for us.
You see, I'm calling time on this house tour. Have you seen enough?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah?
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Good, very positive, I think.
Yeah, a good start.
Yeah. And it is only our first property.
Exactly.
Let's keep going.
All right.
When it comes to food production, the East Midlands is perhaps best known for its pork pies and ubiquitous Red Leicester and Stilton cheeses. But the region is also home to a lesser-known cheese that originates from the 17th century. Colwick cheese ceased commercial production over 20 years ago, until it was brought back by a local independent farm 18 months ago. We've sent keen cooks Sarah and Nick to meet Alan Hewson at Crossroads Farm in Leicestershire to find out about this mysterious cheese. Once widely available throughout the region, today Alan and his wife are the UK's only producers.
Welcome to the dairy.
Thank you.
This is where we make the cheese. This is the vat where the milk goes into to make the curds. It's quite local to us. It's Nottinghamshire's really only cheese, and I'm quite keen on local products being kept alive.
Crossroads was originally a small dairy farm. Alan stumbled upon the traditional cheese in an old recipe book when researching a new product to expand the business. The milk is provided by a herd of 50 rare breed red poll cows. Compared to a traditional dairy cow, they give a relatively low yield, but their milk is high in protein, making it particularly suitable for cheese making.
What's special about the cheese?
Although it's a soft cheese, when you cook with it, it doesn't melt. It's like a continental cheese. Because it hasn't got a lot of strength in the flavours, you can use it and mix it with lots of different ingredients to make lots of different types of dishes.
So why did the cheese go out of fashion?
Because of its short shelf life is one of the main reasons, and as dairies got larger, they didn't want to produce small amounts of a product.
As a small business, Alan is involved in every step of the process, from milking their herd to making the cheese. Pasteurised milk is added to the vat with the starter culture or cheese bacteria to create the flavour. Rennet is added to set the milk, gradually turning to curds and whey. It's then ready to be ladled into moulds lined with cheesecloth. The cheese is left to drain and set and is ready to eat just 2 days later.
And it looks, at this stage, like a natural yoghurt. What does it taste like?
Well, we can go and try some, and that's the best way to taste it.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
But being a fresh cheese, the high moisture content means it also needs to be consumed within a couple of days. Luckily, we've got a couple of foodies on hand for a taste test.
That's fantastic.
Really good.
It's a drier texture, but it's really creamy and nice. Yeah.
Thanks for showing us around. We've really enjoyed learning about how it's made.
Yeah, it's been really
It's a pleasure
interesting.
to have you here.
Thank you.
Back on the road, we're crossing the county border into Leicestershire and heading to the village of Bruntingthorpe, just under 3 miles to the larger village of Gilmorton and half an hour to Leicester. Residents of this small village head to the neighbouring village of Gilmorton for the nearest post office and primary school, as well as a shop to buy essentials or a visit to the local tea room. 5 minutes in the car through the surrounding South Leicestershire countryside takes us back to Bruntingthorpe. Alongside the village church and just yards from its popular pub is our second property.
So if you're wondering why I've brought you into the back garden, there's a good reason, because this is the front of your second property.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's pretty amazing.
Any idea what it used to be?
A barn of some sort?
I'd say a coach house or
That's exactly
some
right.
stables of some
good
sort.
guess.
It is a coach house, converted about 30 years ago, but this, believe it or not, dates back to about 1774.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yes.
Amazing. Definitely a great first impression.
Shall we get started?
Yes, let's have a look.
I love the historical features of this property. Built of brick with a graduated local slate roof, its magnificent height meant that the horse could be ridden into the coach house without the need to dismount. Its conversion has turned it into a great family home.
So, with this house, you enter into the kitchen,
Right.
not a sitting room.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good size for us. I like the beams running across the ceiling and it's nice and light.
It needs a bit of modernising maybe, but probably just more cosmetic than
Yeah.
anything else. So.
I think it's ready for your own personal
Yeah.
touch, and it's not listed even though it's a very old
Brilliant.
coach house.
That's even better.
I know James and Sarah aren't keen on taking on work, but I really think all this place needs is a little vision. A long corridor leads us through a dining area and past the downstairs cloakroom towards the living room.
Yeah, it's a really interesting layout.
Yeah, it is. And again, a really nice light room.
Yeah.
And a good size.
The beams, yeah, I love the beams.
When the coach house was converted, that is the outside wall. If you actually notice, there aren't any windows on that side of the property.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you get maximum privacy, and the patio doors lead out onto your garden. That's south-facing.
Oh, that's nice.
If you've got
nice in the
friends,
summer.
family, you know, years to come, little ones, nice, easy access to your garden.
Yeah.
And it's walled,
Yeah.
so it's pretty safe too.
And good for a dog.
Good for dogs.
Good for a dog, very good for a dog. OK, let's keep going.
Making our way upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms. The 2 guest doubles are served by a family bathroom.
On this side of the house, you've got the master bedroom.
Right.
It's a little on the small side, I think.
OK.
I think it
Compared
might
to
be the
what we-
ceiling that makes it feel...
You could be right. It feels a lot smaller.
You've got an ensuite there.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm right or wrong with this, Sarah, but I get the feeling that you want everything bigger.
I think I would find it hard to move from a 1-bed flat to a 3-bedroom house where the bedroom was smaller than our current bedroom. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So let's go back outside and, of course, we can discuss what it's all worth.
After a strong start, it's a slightly disappointing reaction to the first floor. Outside to the front of the property, there's a double garage offering great storage space, all the potential to be converted into a study for Sarah, as well as a timber summer house and pond in the well-kept garden.
So actually, I really like the fact that this garden is self-contained.
Beautiful.
And then just to the side of us, as you can see, there's sort of a bit of a rockery there.
That would be fantastic for a vegetable patch.
Yeah. The commute back to London is going to be about 23 minutes to Market Harbour. That would be the closest station for you from here.
That's not too bad.
Well, let's see how you feel about the actual price. How much do you think this converted coach house is on the market for?
I would say this one maybe 325 would be my guess.
I'd go slightly higher, probably similar to my previous 355.
I think you're both going to be quite shocked.
In a good way.
We're ready.
£399,000 is the asking
Goodness.
price.
Wow.
Gosh.
Well, go and have another look. And, well, I can't even meet you by the front door because it's round the back. But you know where I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll see you in a sec.
OK.
Coming in just within budget, this historic property would give James and Sarah 3 bedrooms and the family kitchen they asked for. Although it doesn't have a study in the main house, there's plenty of space in the garage if they were up for taking on a project. Its south-facing walled garden would be suitable for a dog and could provide the vegetable patch Sarah's been dreaming of for so long. The train connections from nearby Market Harbour mean a commute to London of just over an hour.
Oh, right, look, it's pretty kitted out.
Yeah. It's got electricity in here, which is good.
Power, lots of storage.
Doesn't feel cold either, so...
Having a garage would be a huge plus for us. It's great storage, and it looked as though it did have the potential to be converted perhaps into an office. The downside, I suppose, is that being at the top of our budget, we wouldn't necessarily have the funds to be making a conversion.
This is feels like a better sized room, doesn't it?
It does. I think it's because it doesn't have the built-in wardrobe, so it's nice and light.
Yeah, definitely. But then again, couldn't really fit a wardrobe with the ceilings, which would be a problem. There were loads of things I liked about this house. The ground floor had pretty much everything we needed. It was a good-sized kitchen, a nice living room. Unfortunately, it was just the top floor of the house was not quite what we were expecting, really, in terms of the size of the bedrooms.
Right, how are we feeling this time?
Good.
Yeah, good. I think 2 brilliant properties.
Guess what's tomorrow? Mystery house time.
Mystery house.
But that's it for today. You can now relax.
Exciting.
Come on.
Looking forward to it.
Newlyweds Sarah and James are ditching their busy London lifestyles in search of a slower pace of life in the countryside. Tired of their 1-bedroom flat in the city, they're hoping their budget of £400,000 will buy them a period home with space to start a family. Coming up, will they fall for the charm of my mystery house?
Could you see yourselves potentially living in a property like this?
I could.
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
And I take a fancy to some award-winning feathered friends.
I think she quite enjoys it.
Do you know what? I'm quite enjoying this as well. James and Sarah have never bought a property before. In fact, they've never looked at one with a view to buying. So I honestly thought our 2 offerings yesterday would come close. Sadly, I was wrong. But today, undeterred, we're going to strike out with our mystery house. This time, we're taking them slightly further afield. And I'm hoping at the end of this viewing, we'll all be singing from the same hymn sheet.
For our final offering, I'm taking James and Sarah back into Northamptonshire, 30 miles further south to the village of Denton, just 6 miles from Northampton. The picturesque village centres on a village green with a variety of properties, many built of local stone. At the end of the green is a village pump and a renovated horse trough dating back to 1884. Locals also have the benefit of a primary school and a doctor's surgery in the village, as well as a local pub popular for its good food. The mystery property is in the heart of the village. In a distinctive building, it's hard to miss.
So it is time For our third and final property, the Mystery House, or in this case, I'm going to show you the Mystery Chapel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
That is a surprise.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I wasn't sure how you were going to both react, so that's pretty favourable.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
On the
Really
top of the hill
beautiful.
as well.
It was built around 1870, converted in the 1990s. Now, the reason it's our mystery is because, one, it's an unusual building, but also this time we've brought you much further into the south of Northamptonshire. In actual fact, we're very close to Bedfordshire and also Buckinghamshire, but still within a village environment.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Right, well, I think it's time for us to step inside our mystery, don't you?
Definitely. Let's have a look.
Set back in an elevated plot, the grand steps of this striking chapel lead us to the commanding entrance.
Two huge wooden doors there.
It's a pretty grand entrance.
And I think it's the first property.
Got a hallway.
Over hallway. That's
You
good
have
news.
your own hallway, parquet flooring, high ceilings.
This is a good start.
So let's see what you make through this door. So here is your main living area.
Oh, wow. Look at the fireplace. That's beautiful.
It's an amazing fireplace.
Bit of a surprise.
Yes, I really like it.
Big surprise, yeah.
And you even have a mezzanine floor.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that it's still got the stone floor as well.
Yeah, huge flagstones all the way through. And the way it's been converted, rather than cutting that window off, they've actually cleverly put this mezzanine floor in, but kept the light as well.
Yeah, it's great.
Really nicely done.
It's working for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, really like it.
I'm feeling the energy. So on that note, we're going to keep going.
Okay.
The kitchen is the largest we've seen on our search, and I've got a hunch it'll go down well.
Yes. Yeah, lovely.
I don't think you could ask for a better country-style kitchen. It's been really nicely done.
Might have noticed no dining table, because just behind us
Oh, there it is.
your own
Another
dining
big
room.
reception room.
Wow.
That's great. I love the way it's been laid out. It
Yeah.
leads beautifully from one room through to the next. We have a dining room as well, which is a really big bonus for us.
Yeah, and I think as well the dining room, although it's separate, it's close enough to the kitchen to almost be a kitchen diner, so it could still be
Yeah,
a,
it's the
a
best-
sort of family area.
Yes.
Yeah, we can just move. We'd be able
straight
to
in.
move straight in and just get living.
Don't get me too excited. All these positive comments. Should we head upstairs?
Yeah,
Yes.
Passing back through the living room, the staircase is at the front of the house. Along the mezzanine corridor are two double bedrooms of equal size, as well as a family bathroom leading to the master suite.
Great size.
I love it.
Yeah, really nice.
I love the old features as well, they're still there.
Yes.
Some of the
Yes.
themes.
You also have an ensuite bathroom.
Good to hear.
Could you see yourselves potentially living in a property like this?
I could.
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
Well, that's very positive.
Yes.
We've got to go outside and have further discussions, haven't we?
Yeah, I
Let's
haven't
see.
seen the garden yet.
Yeah, how you feel about that? James, you lead the way.
Although there's no separate space for Sarah's study, it doesn't seem to have put them off. She could easily create an area in one of the ample reception rooms. Let's hope we can keep up the momentum as we head outside.
So, our outside space. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that chapels often don't have very much outside space around them, and I think it'd be fair on this one. However, we do have quite a pretty courtyard.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
And I think it's a shame because you could easily lay this to lawn. So you could transform this into a beautiful courtyard garden
Yes.
if you wanted to.
I
Yeah.
really like the shape, the U shape of it. So you could have different sections for different things. You could leave some of it paved and maybe lay grass on another section.
Yeah. And we're enjoying our day out in the country, but I've got to bring it back to work matters, haven't I? Yes. That all-important commute back to the city. Wellingborough would be the closest station, and it's about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's okay, yeah.
So, how much do you think it's currently on the market for?
I would say 389.
I think a bit higher. I think this one 399. I think top of the budget.
Asking price on the converted chapel. You ready for this? £349,950.
Wow,
That is a very pleasant surprise.
that is, yeah.
Goodness. Gives us some money to do the lawn with.
Now, I'm presuming you two would love to go and have another look, but this time on your own.
Yes, please.
Go on. Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're in the middle of a beautiful village, but this is an exceptional property. It gives them the traditional values that they've been after, but inside it certainly has that modern, contemporary feel.
For £50,000 under their maximum budget, this magnificent converted chapel is bursting with character, but also has the contemporary living space that appeals to James and Sarah. It's got a large practical kitchen and dining space and 3 roomy bedrooms. Although the walled garden isn't ideal in its current form, with a little bit of work, Sarah could easily turn it into an attractive green space that works for them. Being further south, Sarah would be that much closer to London and just 20 minutes to the station at Wellingborough.
Another nice light room.
This is a really good sized spare room, I think.
Perfect guest room.
I absolutely love the mystery house. Yeah, the entrance, the hallway, really like the mezzanine level that goes through into the living room.
The main thing that we need to think about a little bit more is the garden area. We'd like a bit of grass, so if we were to buy the house, we'd have to be committed to changing the garden.
This is the first property we've seen that I could definitely see making this a home.
Ah, smiling faces. Now, you two have enjoyed this house tour, haven't you?
Yes, we
Definitely.
have. Yes, I think the mystery house has served us well. Got
Good.
Yeah.
a lot to talk about.
Yes.
We really do.
Well, let's go and have a chat somewhere quiet, shall we?
Okay.
Each summer, there are over 100 agricultural and county fairs held across the UK. Although we may be used to seeing sheep and cattle exhibited, it's perhaps considered less common to see poultry on show. But with the popularity of poultry breeding having grown dramatically over the last few years, there are now more than a dozen poultry shows taking place across the country every year. I'm visiting award-winning poultry fancier Angela Dupont at her home in Leicestershire to meet some of her award-winning feathered friends.
You have a title that, well, I hadn't heard of before, a poultry fancier.
Yes, yes. Well, I breed birds, especially for showing, and this little girl here is one of them.
Is she a champion?
She is a champion, yes.
So what actual breed is she?
She's a Pekin.
Can we take her outside to have a bit of a closer look? Because
Yes.
these birds, we love them, but they're quite noisy.
They are noisy.
Especially those
Yes,
cockerels.
they
They're
are.
letting us know they're there.
The roots of poultry fancying lie in the outlawed sport of cockfighting. After the sport was banned in England in 1849, the idea of exhibiting the birds rather than using them to fight took hold. Angela has been poultry fancying for over 12 years and keeps a small variety of poultry called bantams.
Now, these bantams are adorable. Are they all
Yes, they
Peking?
are. Yes, they are. Yes. And Pekins come in 12 different colours. So here we've got buff, which are the little brown ones. We've got Colombian, which are these two white ones with the black on. And these little ones here are mottled Pekins, like their mother.
And obviously keeping, I'm presuming, the bloodline is important,
Yeah.
is it?
Well, it is. If you can breed birds that are sort of following on after their mother, who is a champion, it would, you know, it helps matters along.
Angela, is this something you did as a child?
Well, no, but I've always been an animal person and loved animals. And so this was a natural progression when I retired from my job that I kept a few birds.
With 150 birds of her own, I'd say Angela has rather more than a few. She's not only one of the top breeders in the country, but also a judge.
What are the characteristics? What are you looking for when you're judging one of the birds?
When I'm judging Pekins, I'm looking for a nice round bird. All the wing feathers have to be counted. Make sure that the tail, the cushion, is in perfect condition. The feet, perfect as well, with lots of feathers on the feet. And their toenails are nicely trimmed, and their beaks are nicely trimmed.
You have to trim them.
Yes, I do.
By hand?
Yes, by hand, with little clippers.
So our little lady here, how's she done this year?
Well, she's won quite a bit this year. She's won Best of Breed at the Great Yorkshire Show.
Did she?
And also at the Bakewell Show.
A champion of champions.
Yes, champion of champions.
And is she ready for a little bit of maintenance? Can we give her a wash?
Yes, I think we could.
At large events like the National Poultry Show, competition is fierce, with over 7,000 birds on show. Having a winning bird takes weeks of preparation to ensure they are in tip-top condition. Angela washes her birds 2 days before each show so that their feathers have time to settle and look their best.
I'm looking forward to this. Never bathed a bird before.
In she goes. There you are, little girl.
She is happy, isn't she? Now, what are you removing from her plumage?
Well, inside their plumage, they've probably got a bit of dust, and also on their feet, their feet will be dirty too.
Will she mind me handling her?
No, of course not. You
So
have
what
a
do
go
I
with
have
that.
to
Just make sure that you clean underneath her feathers. Make sure her feathers are nice and clean.
They're sort of semi-waterproof, aren't they? You
Yes,
actually
they
have to
are.
open them up.
Yes, you do.
And she doesn't mind. I'm obviously being very gentle.
She doesn't mind. In fact, I think she quite enjoys it.
Do you know what? I'm quite enjoying this as well. So are you happy with her so far?
I am. She's nice and clean.
After a gentle wash with detergent, the birds are moved to clean water for a thorough rinse.
And pop her over here to be dried.
And then how would you normally dry her?
I leave her wrapped in a towel for about 10 minutes, and then I take her out and use my hairdryer on her, making sure that she's nice and dry under her wings and all round her head.
Look at that, nearly
Yes.
ready for the competition. And in my eyes, look at that. She certainly is best in show. So we've shown Sarah and James our 3 properties here in the East Midlands. And I know they like one of them, but just how much? Let's find out. For Sarah and James, it's exciting times because not only have you recently got married, but hopefully buying your first property together, ever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these properties because in my mind, there was one that I think we might have got close to for you.
The first property came close for us, but the mystery house really stood out, really had that wow factor.
So, James, what was it about our mystery house, our third property?
It had the really nice entrance hall, and it had the big living room that's really had a kind of wow factor to it. And then the big country kitchen as well, leading through to a separate dining room. And I think the way it was decorated definitely helped as well. It was all really nicely done.
So you're leading me to believe that we actually got quite close with this property.
Yes, I think
Definitely.
so. We really liked
Yeah.
the property. There's a couple of things for us to think about. We need to learn a bit more about the area because it's a new one to us.
Yeah.
So a bit of research for us, I think, and to learn a little bit more about refurbishing a garden.
So does that mean you might be going for a second viewing?
We will.
I'd like to,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, we will.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And if you do put an offer in, let us know, won't you?
We will.
We will.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
At the end of our house search yesterday, I was getting worried that we weren't going to show Sarah or James anything they really loved. But, as is often the case, it was the mystery house that came up trumps. I think that property had the right blend of character and quirkiness, but also that gorgeous interior and finish. It now remains to be seen whether they do go for a second viewing and indeed take the plunge and put in an offer. I truly hope so.
James and Sarah loved our mystery house but have decided to delay their search until James knows more about where his new job will be based before focusing their hunt for a home in the beautiful East Midlands. If you'd like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.